Welcome back, Super Robot fans. Thank you for joining me for this 30th episode of Super Robot Wars R. My name is Austin. I hope you all are having a pretty okay day. I need to get some more sleep, but other than that, I think my day is going pretty well. Let's jump into our episode. So, we're starting with everyone in the field again. Not any major changes for our parts, other than with the Gundam Rose, but we'll talk about him in a second. I guess let's start with enemies first. We have the Frost Brothers again. We have Despinus, one of the original bosses. And then just some of the grunts we've seen so far, and the Grandmasters again. They are going to try and rush us, and they are going to largely keep us penned in here. There is a pseudo choke point right here, and this is largely where we're going to end up staying, kinda. Which is, I think, fine, because the second portion of the scenario is going to be between these two asteroid belts. So, we are a fine position here. We will have to fight everything. The flag won't trigger until we until we destroy this whole collection of units. So we're not on a time crunch here. And then we'll get into what's happening down here once they show up. Let's look at our units. We have basically the same team as we did last time. This is pretty much all of our usable units from this path that we have. I do have the Double X and the G Falcon back. The Double X is force deployed, so I may as well use the G Falcon just to make this kind of viable. I did start moving before I turned the recording on, so that's on me. Whoops, sorry about that. But literally the only thing I did was move the G Falcon, so we're good. We're still on turn one. The Double Zeta is also force deployed so that we can interact with the story that's going to be happening down here with more of the Double Zeta bosses again. In order to keep the G Falcon, because it wasn't force deployed, we did switch that out for the Bolt Gundam, so he made a return for exactly one of scenarios. We're going to, because we don't have time pressure again. Well, because we don't have time pressure this time, we are going to get everyone in position for the willpower buffs on next turn, I think. So I wish I didn't have the memory of a goldfish and I could remember what we did last time, but no, I cannot. So the Combattler needs to give out one. And we're gonna move Funsaki next to him. Fiona wants to get the largest charge of that possible, and so does Saisaishi. So there's that grouping. The Getter can move one to the left because Rain can move in here, and then we can get this grouping correct. George can move below the Combattler. I guess we also don't need to be in position this turn because we're going to do it next turn. And that will... Oh, right, and Fa even has one, too. So Fa can go here, and we can... Actually, no, we do want to move... We do want Jared in position to make the satellite cannon a little easier. And... Judo just is probably not going to matter for this scenario. Okay, well, let's go. I think the G-Bits are unique to this scenario. They're the only time we're going to see that enemy. We've seen them in the, in-engine cutscenes a lot, but other than that, we've not really interacted with them at all, I don't think. So, Funsaki should go first. While we're doing this, I am recording this immediately after that last episode, so no new news about... That is a weird sentence because of how we use the word news now. No news about why yet. So we're still in exactly the same position there. I also obviously have not gotten a chance to read your comments on what you think we're just going to show up. But I am curious. I have not been in on The super robot scene. Oh, that was not the correct movement. I mean, it'll still work out fine. But we should have moved Food Psyche onto the God Gundam. But yeah, so I have not been up on the super robot scene for a bit now. So like a lot of the recent shows are not in my wheelhouse. So if anime have come out and they are a potential candidate for being in the game, I do not know of them. Let's get Jamil out of here. George can go back in here, and so can Fiona. Oh yeah, the reason we need George in here is I did take the shuffle crests off of him. I replaced his parts with the Haro and the eye field. I knew someone needed an eye field. I didn't know who it was going to be. But I also wanted to take the shuffle crests off because they're just not as relevant anymore now that we do this to start the scenario. And like I said last time, that was not what I wanted to do. Like I said last time, Saisaishi, the Dragon Gundam, was not really making full use out of the Haro, so I wanted to move it on to someone a little bit more, who's going to take a little bit more advantage of it. I shouldn't have moved the Combattler first, but I wanted to check this. I don't remember what range these enemies have. It is such a luxury that we don't have to scan anymore. I really could do with some more info about these guys. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we move next to... Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't have a 6-range counterattack, so we will stay one behind the Combattler, and we will hedge our bets as far as where their range is going to be. I do need to park Rain next to more of the G Gundam pilots just to get some more of that Valor started. Like, that probably also won't matter, but it's can't hurt. But if we're going to keep using Rain, we may as well turn her into a support bot in multiple ways. I'm glad Rain's in the game. I was going to say it's obvious, but maybe it is not obvious. It is, to me, obviously very frustrating and sad that a lot of the female characters are falling to the support roles. It's an interesting conversation, I think, because on one hand, that is staying faithful to the show, right? Like, a lot of times the female characters are the supports. So if we want to be show accurate, that is what is happening. And I think there's something to be said about valuing accuracy of the media you're representing, especially in a crossover thing like this, where you're not really being generative necessarily. I know some of the Super Robot Wars original stuff has become canon to their original series. See, like, the Majin Kaiser, I believe. So I do think there's something to be said about faithfulness in adaptation. But it's also really disappointing that, like, we don't have that there are not a lot of female heroes standing out in the same way. I don't think that is I don't think that's like a 100-0 kind of problem. Like, that is a generalization. There are a lot of women that you can make good in the same way you can make a lot of the men good. Or like Fiona we've not used her a ton in this playthrough, but Fiona is really just like can be utterly bonkers. And there are series that do feature women more prominently. It would just be nice if it was more consistent. I do think I'm at least tired of the adage, but like, that's what anime is. It doesn't have to be. It's a lame excuse. How much move does George have? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can go. Okay, so we will be in position where the double X's. I'm thinking we can, if we kind of vacate the area, we can get a lot of these dead to a map, to the Rose's Scream. We can just move the Combattler out of the way, have it kill here. We will need to Awaken, or we will need to Zeal George. But that's fine. That's what we started with last time. So we also we also need to get Jared out of the way. How dead is this? That's probably dead enough that Jared can handle that. Oh, but they do have supports though. That's fine. It matters little. I guess we could have had the Combattler go first. And then we would have had, George could have attacked there, but... Did I flash? Oh my word, I flashed again. Okay. He's like roughly in position to do something with the G-bits. Oh man. Goldfish Brain strikes again. Well, good thing we didn't use the Fortune, though, so we just aren't going to bother with that. With that this turn. We'll instead just fight these normally. Ooh, they're 2,200 money. Never mind, we're going to phone it in for a turn. This works out. This is fine. We just won't use... This saves us the Zeal. Could someone tell me, I'm curious, if later games let me change what the auto-select settings are? So, right, like when we go to combat, it is pre-selecting... It selects the attack that deals the most damage, but the most damage... But if there is lethal damage, it won't go over that amount. I hope that makes sense, right? Like if a 2,000 damage attack or a 2,500 damage attack would kill, assuming no skills activated, it will highlight the 2,000 damage attack first. But that's not necessarily always the correct action, right? Like that will waste your energy or your ammo pretty dramatically. Also, we are missing a turn of just an incredible amount of dodges through abilities from the Neo Getter, or the Shin Getter too. But yeah, that auto-selection process will make you miss a lot of... Or make you waste a lot of your resources, just because of how it's programmed. So that's... sure. We do have extra accuracy on it now because of, I think because of the Haro. I think it normally comes with 0. Well, no, it definitely normally comes with 0, and it has plus 25 now, so. But it would be nice if we could if there was like a setting where you could prioritize what it auto-selected. I've said it a bit ago. I haven't said it recently, but I always favor hitting than more damage. I think because oftentimes a lot of the numbers make it end up to be that 2 hits are going to kill no matter what. So better that the 2 hits land than a one really big hit, and then all you need to do is a little tiny chip left afterwards. So just having an auto-select section that chooses the most accurate attack would be nice. I guess because this is the only time we're going to see them, we may as well look at them. They have like a surprisingly robust defensive profile for being a generic unit. Like 6,800 HP and 1,000 armor is what I called good from the Zanbot when it first showed up. Admittedly, that was the beginning of the game, and this is now the end of the game. But for a generic unit, like that feels like I feel like they scaled up greater than what would have been expected. They have no downsides for any terrain benefits. They are also the only unit that boasts the Energy Restore Large. And that's like the unique quality of them. I just remember that because I knew that the Energy Restore Large existed in the game. Typically, that means it restores 30% energy at the beginning of a turn, but I wanted to make sure. And I just like needed to comb through my lists of things and find out where that was. And they also have a 1 to 8 range attack. It's not post-movement though, but they really will get you pretty much anywhere. I've not really done that with the rest of the enemies, just because they're kind of generic in this game. But if people like that, I'm happy to do that more often too. I do really like... I'm also really big into JRPGs. I don't think that that's like I don't think that's that surprising. I think there's a pretty big overlap here. But the thing I like the most in those games is just looking at like enemy behavior or enemy. I think that's the most interesting part. So I'm happy to delve deep into conversations about like how the enemies work too. Okay, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, 9. Do the Frost Brothers not do the normal deal? Where are they in my list? They don't even retreat. Okay, so we do actually get to take up for both the Frost Brothers this time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on a second. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's like roughly 16 enemies we care about getting the money out of later. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Just trying to figure out whether it's worth it to get a fortune on for one of the bits. The G bits. And I think if Saisaishi can... No, he can't quite get close enough. We could use an Excel that doesn't break any of the fortunes. That's probably good. And those are exactly the same HP. Oh yeah, because the combattler counterattack both of them the same way. Cool. I think that's the only one we're going to spare then for the rest of the G bits. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, why are we getting 2531? But we do have 40. We do have 40 kills. Finally. The combattler was really lagging behind in terms of kills. We were saving it pretty much exclusively for boss kills for a while. And it was just not fighting any of the generics. To that point... Also, I definitely praise the Getter's accuracy last scenario. That's super not true. This also was not a good attack. We should have tried to dodge here. That's fine. The carrot's got plenty enough movement. It can fix that. We should move Judo up. He does not have Excel like in previous games. I gotta remember that. You know, what if we switch to the 2? I guess this is how we get better accuracy. Yeah. I am just sort of glued to the 1 because A, I like its design, and B, it is just overall better. But like, I think that's what makes the Getters interesting units, is that they have. I think that's like usually what makes a good choice out of like multi-choice components in a game, because like this is true for like card games or board games too. Is that like assess the default choice first, and if the default choice is something that you want to take more than like the percent. There's like an elegant way of saying that, right? Because each different thing is going to scale depending on how often you're going to need to make that choice. But right? Like if there's like, it could be a 33% time, 33% of the time, 50% of the time, you get it, but in a relevant amount of the time to try and make this still somewhat generic. If your default choice is still one that is better than most other choices, if you're still like, I would actively like to make the default choice, still usually good. And then, right, like the getter offers 2 more unique components in the 2 and the 3. Not that those are the default choices, but it's like, right, we were like, I need more accuracy, so we can do that without having to spend anything. Or I need to be underwater, we can do that without having to spend anything. Not that there's a spirit that you can spend to relate to underwater better, though that would be fun. Like, what is the spirit called? Snorkel? Rebreathing? Gills? They tend to all be kind of virtues? Like, I wouldn't say virtues exactly, but they tend to all have the language of things that you would want to strive for, you know? It's not always true, but... Because, like, excel does not work, but dedication, or zeal, or spirit, or... yeah, I guess not all of them, because, like, smite doesn't quite work. Soul, depending on what that word means, you could definitely use that in a way that's like a thing that you could aspire to have. Maybe that should influence my translation of it more. Is like trying to make them sound closer to like virtues. But I don't know what you would do. Like what virtue is there for like water? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will focus here. That is cheaper than persist, and that is 100% chance to dodge. And if they do get attacked next turn, like during enemy phase, that's still better. To that point, I do think this game is also very good. I think it uses a lot of the same parts of your brain, the same like parts of strategy as roguelikes and roguelites. The action economy, the like constantly getting advantage off of small little bits of things is really an important element of this game if you want to play it at its highest level. And not just this one, like this series. I think we've thoroughly demonstrated that a goof like me can still clear this even when I'm not being the most optimal. So, not the greatest example. I do kind of want to rush forward a little bit, because that means we can clear Elios. Is this the Elios? I think this is the Elios. I don't remember which ones. I don't remember what each of the 3 kids has as their units. I know all of their names, and I know all of the names of their units in isolation, but not taken together. But we can clear her next turn, and then the Frost Brothers can be the turn after if they don't move up this turn. Oh, they're moving this turn. Okay, great. So we maybe can clear one of them this turn. Yeah. Perfect. And then someone needs to take out... Oh, actually, somebody needs to take out this Grandmaster Gundam, and we have a perfect candidate for it. Incredible. Okay. Who are you driving? It is the Elios. I did remember. I'm gonna guess she probably retreats. Yes, she does. I don't think there's any time they don't retreat other than during the last scenario. I guess, spoilers, they survived till the last scenario, but... I don't think we've been worried about that much through this playthrough so far. I suspect you have probably gathered that. we're not looking at the story very much. I also just don't think anyone would want me to particularly. Like, I like story a lot. I just am very hard on the stories of the media that I consume, and I don't think people are going to necessarily have I don't think people are going to have a good time watching me tear into a story without, like, the context of who I am as a person first. Right? I will easily tell you about something that I love and then spend, like, the next hour and a half telling you all the things that's wrong with it. But that's just because I have really high expectations for the media that I like, and I've spent a lot of time, like, thinking about it, being in it. So I just have a lot of thoughts. Like, its smallest, most minute corners are overturned to me. And, like, we should be critical of the media that we consume. Critical does not necessarily mean you dislike it, right? Like, you can be critical and be thoughtful and be compassionate at the same time. I brought this up in another video, too, that, you know, we do need to pay attention to what we practice with the media we ingest. And especially now, more than ever, with the way in which experience is so manufactured for us, so many games are just so nothings of experiences. They're the exact same code of paint over the exact same code of over the exact same, like, set of animations. There's so much, like, open world schlock. And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of great open world games. But there are also so many open world games that do just nothing. It's you turn on the same towers, get the same skill trees. All for what? So that's why I keep coming back to these games, is in amongst everything else, at the very least I am asked to think about something. I could be asked to think more. I will never complain about being asked to think more. Oh, right, we said we were going to just try and let him take a hit and see how much damage he survives. Last scenario, so let's see what happens this time. See, we didn't even need to worry about it. He has... The abilities are good enough. I was going to say, we can take her down a little bit more, but I don't know who will do it, but Judo can. We will persist. And let's Valor, too. I doubt we're going to use Judo much more. This seems like a good way to spend him. Oh boy, even with Valor, that did nothing. This is why I always felt like Persist did more, but she doesn't even have... Or Potential did more, but she doesn't even have that much potential. I guess the Dragon Gundam can also hop in here. Just not with the Voltase. Right? Yeah, I don't think with the Voltase. We can move the Nail Argama here. The Combattler won't need the boost from leadership because it's going to get it off of its... Like, we're going to use... Bullseye anyway, so that's fine. And that's as close as that's about as close as we can get. She retreats at 8,800 HP, so. How much? No, we can spend this down this turn first. And then we can resupply next turn. Ooh, we are only 30 off, so we can focus. And we can save 5 SP. And also 5 SP on a more relevant, on a more relevant party member. We need 2 money. I think we're good. We'll probably get some experience off of this. That's probably worth it. I guess. We could daunt her. We're probably not going to use this money. all this fortune. Well, how much we got? We've got, what, 3 left? We'll spend 2 of them. That's 10% more damage. That was maybe unnecessary, but I just want to make sure. Okay. Do we kill the Elios? It is really hurting not having the Voltace to come in and help with the bigger combo attack. But soon we will be returned. Just one more scenario after this one, and then we'll be reunited for the remainder of the game. Okay, so what's 10% off that? That's, I mean, that's 1,000 damage off. So that was that would have been 9,000. 9,400. Okay, we were probably still fine, but I'd rather be safe. The Shining Gundam can take a hit. I don't mind that. Oh, no, okay, this isn't the last fight with them. There's still one more. Because I know there's one where they show up with 3 propellant tanks in each slot, so that they can just keep spamming their last action. We do also want to try and force them to make this attack. Because that will waste their energy pretty dramatically. What's it called? It's going to be called the same thing on both parties, I think. Satellite launcher? Yeah, okay. So he does not seem incentivized to use the satellite launcher here, right? This is Dodi Voodoo double mega Sonic cannon? Sondiku cannon. I don't believe that is his support, his combo attack. Yeah. Okay, so odds are we aren't going to get him to use it. That's fine. We can get up in their face. He's also not using it here. Yeah, this getting passed over by support attack. Oh right, we don't want to Valor. We want to save our SP as much as possible because these two don't retreat, so we want to save that for the upcoming fights. The combator can come over here to heal, and then it can or the carrot will heal it and then resupply it next turn. Okay. I guess we can move forward a little bit. We'll sit here, and then that does leave the... Yeah, that one. The Methus exposed, but that's okay. Honestly, preferable, so they can spend this a little bit more. It's the same animation, just they just flopped it horizontally for the double X. And I guess the X too. I'm not sure how much that small of a shield actually helped, but I appreciate the effort. Oh. Stellar. And we can, I don't mind passing that back over to the Methus if we need to. So they're pretty well out of energy now. I did not check how much more, like, space that affords us, but I'm sure it gives us some. Even if they recover some energy, they're going to recover it still not as fast as 100. He does have an energy chip, which makes it cost less for him, right? Yeah. But do they just have energy restore smalls on them natively? No, they don't. Okay. Oh, right. He has more. He has more left over because of that energy chip refund. Yeah. I guess for the combo attack, is that why he has transform still? Because he does appear in the mobile armor mode in the combo attack. But like they're never gonna trade. They never change on the battlefield. Also, didn't we decide they had like a ludicrous amount of support? Yeah, they have. He's got 4 support defense. Shaggy only has 2 though. Okay, so we want to attack Olba because he's only going to eat 2 attacks. Then we can attack. Then if we destroy Olba, it's easier to. If we attack Olba twice, that breaks the 2 support defense from Shagya. Then if we destroy Olba, we don't have to go through those 4 to get to Shagya. What's our accuracy looking like now? 46. We can get closer. I don't want to be... Okay, I was going to say, I don't want to be right on top of him because I want to save that space for other more important pilots. But that's 52. We can go up to like 82 if we move the Argama in. That's the wrong unit. I'm thinking the Argama can go like 1 above him. Maybe 1 below and we just move Domo in first. Well, we probably don't want to move Domo in first because he's probably going... We're probably going to try and... It would be ideal to try to use him for one of the finishing blows. Saisaishi's not doing a whole ton, so maybe he can help break one of these. We will not lose... Okay, if we use a focus, then we also don't lose a focus. If we use a focus, we do not lose a fortune, is what I meant to say. Oh, that's so low. We're gonna need to use a persist here too. Yeah, we'll use a persist. We're just like everything's in slightly the wrong spot, right? Because like we could move the combattler out of the way too. But we want to use the combattler probably to finish one of these 2 off also. So maybe... I was going to say, maybe we can save the Dragon Gundam for the Butterfly Bomb instead, and then use... I still never gave him an extra part. Whoops. And just have Jamil break one of them, but he does still do decent damage despite being at such a low level, but he might be our better candidate for it. Also, what if we were already here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We would need a 7-range post-movement attack. That is unlikely we have that. Oh, no, hold on. We could use George. It's unfortunate that he can't contribute normally, but that is probably our best shot. While keeping to try and use the leadership bonus twice. Let's try this. Perfect. We sat there planning for so long, I don't remember whether that was 1 or 2. I think it was 1, because I've had the animations on, because I keep forgetting to turn them off. Yeah, I wasn't worried about the support attack portion of that. What was our accuracy on it? 0, so maybe plus 20. Okay, but I did quick see there that we had the support defenses still active. Okay, that's an option. I don't dislike that. Let's try this. This does put us close to... this does put us closer to the Tail Argama, but that's fine. So what if we just get the Nail Argama right up in the middle of it? Nope, it does not have enough accuracy. Better for it to move somewhere else, to buff somebody else. Okay, who else can we use that we don't really care about? Oh, right, we still have the double Zeta to use. again, because of the earlier games, I still think of the double Zeta as like one of the ones you save to use later, but such is not the case here. Okay, what if that might have to be the answer? We get a support attack off of Domon, which will definitely hurt some amount. We can focus. That's 90. Okay, so he will have perfect hit after we move the Nail Argama in. But that was still too much hit in my mind to take the risk on him taking damage. And the Frost Brothers are known to do a ton, so I want to persist and not lose that there. Domon, if he is going to make a relevant attack this turn, is going to need accuracy, so we can also focus ahead of time to make this the support attack land better too. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, okay, so that breaks the support defense, and then we're already starting to get hits in for the actual health bar. Great. If we can't get both of them, we're at least going to have the second one rather well. I guess let's check can anyone... Actually, no, there's no need to check. Fiona's too far away to get a support attack off from somebody. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Oh, but it's to the wrong target. There's a spirit in later games that gives you +2 to your range. It would be cool if that was happening there, but no such luck. Yeah, we're gonna get support attacks off here, but other than that, not really. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's good. Actually, maybe it was a mistake to do that. We could have saved these two for an attack here, but that's okay. Going back farther certainly isn't going to be correct. That's the same. No, that's one different. Okay. Chibity does have Bullseye, so we can have Chibity go up here, go attack Shagia once Ulba's dead. Also, I do think Ulba's in range to get Gettered. Maybe not quite. Maybe I'm holding too much. Okay, so what if Domon weakens? The Getter finishes. Then we still have the Combattler. We have the rest of these to take out Shagia. That seems unlikely. Maybe not impossible. They just have a lot more defense than most enemies. They've got 1400 armor and almost 180 defense. So I don't like. We've seen the Getter do like 12,000, but that was at like the enemy being at like 110 morale and with worse stats. So I don't think that's gonna quite get the job done. It's just that this is also so mighty tempting. So maybe the Combattler is the one that's going to have to finish it. So we can resupply with Carrot. That may have been wrong. We may have wanted to get a couple of his support attacks in, even for what little chip they offered. So forget this combination we were doing over here. Have Jamil come from the top. Okay, and we can grab a support attack off the Combattler. No, we'll grab a support attack off Domon because he already has the Bullseye. Oh, that was no damage. That was some more damage. Okay. That feels comfortable enough that I think the Combattler can handle that now. So let's do that. Also, what level are we? 48? They are 46. That experience probably still... We're not doing anything else. It's probably still a little worth it. money. What are we missing? We're missing a bullseye. I think we're going to use it from the main character. Yeah. And then this way we can get a support attack somehow between the getter and Domo, and that is not going to goof this up. How long have we been going for? 45 minutes? That feels about right. Yeah, okay. We were appropriately cautious. We would have gotten it, like, just barely. Okay. So, better that Domon come in. Also, wild that we still aren't... Oh, we should bullseye with the getter, too. Also, but wild that we aren't full accuracy with Domon. He is, like, one step away from the Nail Argama, but still. Actually, given that, do we have any other leadership we can put him under? No, we cannot. Okay. I still think this is our best choice, though we could increase our accuracy for less damage. You know, let's do that, because I don't think we need to worry about damage now at this point. We're now just... We just need to get more hits in. Pulled out his sword, but still just smacked him in the face with the unicorn. I do feel like that's a lot of super robot attacks, though. That they, like, do all this, like, fancy nonsense for weapons that they also just, like, kind of don't use. But, like, the spectacle of the thing is the cool part, for sure. Oh, yeah, okay, we easily have that. Okay, oh, you're right, I clicked on it because I know I need to look at something. I wanted to look at experience still, but it's worth it. We already used a bullseye, that's how we got the support attack in. Sorry, I don't have much to say right now. There's just... We fought these bosses so many times already. For all of the characters that exist in among these games, they really could have made either some more bosses for us. Oh, we never Valored. Whoops. No, I think we did Valor. Was that with the Valor? But I mean, working either way. We fought all these bosses already so many times. It would be nice if, either with all the characters in these series, that we had some more bosses, or just like, you know, maybe 37. We didn't need 37 stages. A couple of these have felt along the lines a little bit more fillery. I will say, I've never approached this scenario in this position before. I did say at the top of the show that I'm used to being a little bit more stuck here. So that usually means that my units are coming, like, straight down. We have to fight through this asteroid belt. So that usually means we're, like, fighting over terrain a lot more with the enemies, which is, I think, a good wrinkle. But nope, here we're just coming at them head on, which is, I think, the way you're sort of meant to do it more. We'll pop him here, and we will call that a day. And then we'll look at what's happening once we get to our turn. I think this is the only instance of the mass-produced Cubelays showing up. We've seen the other Cubelays before. They have, like, a curl at the back of their head, as opposed to these two sort of spiky deals. So that is at least something unique to this stage too. But even the stage name knows what it's doing. It's just the stage is called Warriors, comma again, ... Like yeah, no, just fight him one more time for us, please. Okay, so we have Lance Throw in the middle here, and finally, at long last, he can become ours. We do need to convince him, though, so it's going to take a minute. We will also need to have a fight with him, too, again, but this time the fight does matter, in that if we kill him, we will not get him as a pilot. And even still, we don't want to do a ton of damage to him, because he's about to be on our team, and you know, having a pilot that comes dead is, I would not describe, a feature. How much are these worth? 3,000? Okay. We do have slightly better money targets, but we probably still have a lot of funds left. We've got some funds left. Where is... Oh, how is George in respect to these? Okay, well, that's an easy pool of kills. I'm gonna commit to that already, just because I know that's something that's worthwhile. Okay, that's there. Do we have a dedication? I do want to dedication him, I think. Oh, we lose a fortune here, though. I was gonna try and give him focus, just because they are on the whole dodgier. We can move the Nail Argama. We can move the Nail Argama right here just to make sure. Let's do that. It's not like it's providing us any accuracy benefits here already. Everything else, it's all too far away already. And it's only in... You know... Hold on, we can charge... It probably won't land, but... George's version can. And yeah, we can break one of these support defenses. I didn't think to check, but I'm pretty sure they only have one. That's not the pilot. Yeah, they only have one support defense. Okay, he's in range. He is in range. And by in range, I mean like in like lethal range. Let's look at this again. Where are we heading? Okay, so we can be one below. We can be the one at the angle of Fiona and enemy. That one has already been sorted, though. I'm gonna turn Fiona's attack. No, we're going to use Fiona's attack, but we're just not gonna use the big one. That should be fine. I will risk that. Yeah, I don't think she's gonna kill from here. Great. And then she can weaken there. It'll be our last focus, but that's okay. And then that has everything set up for George's Rose's Scream. I'm going to keep saying the name. I can't get over the name. It's so strange. What? That's 4 of them, so that's 12,000. So we're getting 24 from this. Yeah. That's a nice amount of money. That's a nice chunk of change. Who is weakened? We can have the Carrot get a support attack off of Chibbity here. Yeah, I think that'll be that plan. Right? Because this is... Yeah, that's his best attack. We need money and we might as well try and hit. And Flash. We can probably also... We'll stand to use a Confuse. We're going to try and charge a little bit more forward. We can probably actually be firing Confuses for the rest of the scenario now. Okay. I think... Did we actually give ourselves fortune? We did give ourselves fortune. Okay. I just don't foresee Carrot actually helping with one of the bosses. So, better spend it somewhere. Okay. Let's see how many we got left. We have one... Oh! Right, we did end up losing another one from George, so that's okay. We've still got 1, 2, 3, 4 remaining. 1 for Haman, 1 for Glemmy, and 1 for probably here, whatever this man's name is. Zadel? What is this? Yes, Sadel. Sadel. Okay. Maybe Seedle. I don't know. There's a lot of transliteration option. We aren't losing anything if we spend this Excel, so. Okay. We can give that one to Nomon. He's getting close. We are 13 kills away. Will we... Oh, no, I was gonna say, will we get there? We'll get there. I will make sure we get there. we could just absolutely ruin everything we've been working on and just utterly annihilate Lancero now. How does that sound? Let's move... Yeah, we'll move, Saisaishi first. Actually, no. We'll move Chibity first, because he has better long... Oh! Oh, he's got no energy left because of that attack. Okay. Then we will move him first, because he has worse options now to then break the supporting. And which support did we broke? This support. Have the getter come in and finish this one. Or maybe not finish, just weaken. No finish. Rain can't get close enough. Yeah, no matter what, she doesn't have any SP left. Okay, so we'll get her close if she can kill one next turn. I will not be upset. Right? No. We figured out last scenario that that's in fact actually not the case. She is not going to get a relevant number of levels to get enough for even another spirit if we keep using double dedication. I think it's called dedication. I've been calling it dedication this whole time. But no, it's not dedication, it's rouse. Dedication is the spend 10. Is the spend 30, get 10 SP spell. But Rain can't level up enough again to get access to another spirit if we keep starting with both those at the beginning of the scenario. So never mind, she doesn't need to get kills. Right, she has 149, so we have 9 left over like we have right now. So we're missing 21 SP to get us to anything relevant, which is which is actually what I mean this time, dedication. So that's 10, that's 11 levels. She would need to go to 49. I suppose it could happen. Some of our highest level pilots are at that point, so things are kind of being scaled around that, but that would take a lot of effort, and she would need to get most of a scenario. We'll see maybe next scenario we will do that. I just really don't like grinding. At least not in these games. If I wanted to be grinding, I'd be playing Final Fantasy. Incredible. Thank you for getting into our, you've moved into our lines in a way that suggests you are part of the team. Thank you. So here's the one downside. We need to fight with him first with Jamil, and then we need to convince him next turn. So he's going to be sitting in amongst our units. He's going to be sitting in amongst our units for this turn anyway. So we want him to miss, but he doesn't have so low of accuracy. He doesn't have so low of accuracy that we can use one of our more powerful attacks to guarantee 0 hit. And it would be enough. Like here, we can look here. 54 hit. There's a coin flip that we might accidentally do enough damage to kill him. So I think we're just gonna stay here or move one forward and use the weakest one. And if this does damage, we can repair it next turn. Yeah. Okay. Great. She needs to go down. There is an interesting bit here that if you kill Haman first, all of the rest of her named allies will gain some morale because she died. We aren't going to get to see that, but it's neat though. We do need someone. We have been spending our spirits freely, so we are running out of people who have high accuracy. We might have to leave this to George. If we switch sides, that will increase our accuracy by 6%, but maybe he doesn't need it. He mostly doesn't need it. There's the Dovin Wolf. Oh, right. Actually, we probably still have a few more. We still have a few more funds left on us. We have one more instance of funds because of Domon's love. All right, how much is Kara worth? 5,000. 4,400. We haven't seen Glemmy attack yet. Yeah, that's for Lancer. We don't want to make that attack. That's pretty close. We do have a focus left. We probably want to save that to use the fortune, actually. How's Judo looking? Probably not great. Yeah, I didn't think so. But it could be a little better up here. That's not bad. We can try that. Do we have a focus left on him? We do not. Oh, right. I did say we were going to use a Valor because I didn't think he was going to see a lot more use, but that's fine. Totally fine. I do like... Oh boy, Domon can really get in here. Oh, he just killed last time. Will he do it again? I might chip her once and then use love and then go over there and kill. Chibity does still have some accuracy left. Let's have him finish up with Iliop here. Does he have enough energy left for that? What could go wrong? Yeah. 3 levels. Superb. We will have Saisaishi come back here. He won't attack, but he will get energy and HP. We don't need the Nail here anymore, so let's have it come forward, and Fiona can join it. And we can... They really want me to attack Lancer. We can start attacking this battleship. We will need to be careful. Seedle does retreat at some point. Ooh, is now... Oh no, we can use this... I guess we'll use the satellite cannon. Our accuracy isn't good enough for that yet, I don't think, actually. So let's get Jared up here, where he can get most of the bonus from leadership. And then we'll just charge these 3 forward, as usual. And then we'll use some of the non-energy consuming attacks to get in here. Great. Oh, we're like almost full up on spirits here. Okay. We'll have the getter chip. We will need to use... Seems like we need to use a bullseye to chip, unless we switch to the 2 again. We can consider the unique scenario here now. We still need to use a bullseye no matter what. Oh, we still actually have almost all of our spirits, though. Okay. So... we can't... So, okay, we've got a couple excels left, or not excels, awakens left in us. Is this Zeal or is the other one Zeal? I can't remember. You know the thing, though. We'll take 2 turns after this if we use this. We'll take another turn after this if we use this spirit. And we've got 2 shots of it, too. So, one of those can be to kill Rakarn Dakarn. And then one of them can be to attack Glemmy, and one of them can be to chip Keira. Domon can kill Keira, and we are largely in a good position for next turn. That does mean that Glemmy gets to attack whoever he wants, but we're only going to have really defensive units here. And if he has a range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, for some reason, we can get Rain out of the way. I think that maybe... Let's start using our spirits. We want a bullseye up. So let's go here. This should be dead without us needing to spend anything else. So I will do that. Yeah, and we don't care about the money for that one. He is the least valuable to all of these. We can excel again. I guess we chip Keira first. Does it matter what order we do this in? We do want to be next to Glemmy for the Getter final crash. Getter final crash. But I guess we could do both. We could crash both of them. He's got enough HP left. We can take a hit. Okay. And actually, yeah, we want to do it this way because... Oh no, this doesn't let us see what Glemmy's is until we've hit him. So no matter what, we're not using our fortune this turn. But that's okay. Because we can now see whether we want to use the love from Domon. Actually, we'll kill Glemmy instead. I think he's more threatening. We'll use Domon's love. Yeah. Yep. Just keep going. Great, thank you. And then take out Glemmy here, and then leave Keira, because I think she is less threatening. And he's at an HP total where we can actually get the kill. Maybe a bit of a waste, but I don't think he could do... He couldn't do 18,000 on his own. And I think he was just shy of the 12,600. So this would be a time to use the calculator. Oh, we were 2 points over for killing Keira. Assuming the damage was the same. Like, obviously they've got different stats and stuff, so... Okay, that went really well. And Rain can just... Actually, no, Rain should not stay parked here. We should move her next to at least somebody. So let's move her next to George, so that she can get the rivalry, start getting more rivalry bonuses. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Yeah. That does spend the flash from love though. That's fine. We do get to see the spits I forgot to turn off. it is curious to me why both the mass-produced Cubile and the Regalgu are just like at a different angle. Like I don't think they're not normally in the like Superman ride style hanging position, right? They're normally upright, I think. I don't know why they're just like horizontal for this game. Hopefully we're dodging this too. Haman can do a ton of damage. Great. We'll sword cut it. That works. We had God Shadow. There was a lot of options for why we weren't getting hit there. But we should turn the demo off. Yeah, there's the God Shadow. And there's our best there's our other defensive option. Just take it to the face. We have such like a cleanly defined phrase of dodge tanking, but I feel like we don't have an equally good way of describing like defense tanking, HP tanking, face tanking. Because like, at least as far as this game goes, I would say an armor tank and an HP tank are like actually properly different types of units. There's not really much of an HP tank in this game. I do try to go into that a little bit in the documents I've made, but like having someone that has an HP regen and having all of the pilots available, usually this is going to be a super robot, so it's going to have multiple pilots. Having all of them get one of the like willpower or like guts based like the HP spirits feels more like an HP tank, right? Where like the Raijin O. Also my pick for something that I would love to see and why. I doubt we'll see it, but I would love to see it again. That to me is like an HP tank where it has HP regen small or sometimes medium. And can just like, it'll take hits and then keep regening and take hits and keep regening, as opposed to something, say, that like the higher tiers of Mazinger or what we've turned the Combattler or the Voltes into, where we're trying to take as little damage as possible, but we'll take hits, so we take 10 damage. And like the connotation of face tanking makes it sound like you were doing something wrong, I think, generally. Like, I feel like that's usually used in a derisive way about someone who's, like, taking a hit but they're not supposed to be. Okay, at long last. Finally. Okay, let's take a look at our new unit. We've done a lot of work to get him. Is he good? He starts with, again, the, like, very in-the-middle evasive and armor stats. He comes with only 2 part slots, which is slightly a bit of a downside. We only have shoot down. We don't have swords or shields. Despite the fact that we have a beam kata. I can't decide whether it's supposed to be kata, like a type of curved, like, sickle weapon, or cutter, and it's just the way in which it needed to get transliterated into katakana. But that doesn't count as a sword for the purposes of defense. Lancero is a pretty good pilot, though. He also has Zeal or Awaken or whatever is the action that lets him take multiple turns in a row. So that's like one of his best benefits, and he does get 3 instances of that where we are right now. I usually think of it as him having 2 shots of it. But that doesn't mean he gets to use literally little else. But we can't really see the full benefits of this unit yet, because they also come the same way that the Janice Kai does, in that it can also be upgraded a stupid amount of times. And then we have just general fare of attacks. Though they are starting at 2400 power, which is a lot higher. That is 600 over where most mobile suits are starting their, like, basic melee, basic ranged attack. Which is probably good, because he doesn't have anything other than the Vulcans and the 2 basic ones. I think this is, again, a little bit more of a fan service unit of the, like, oh, cool, we get to play as Lancero. But if you do invest into him, he is very good. He is, like, I would say, he's like, there's a good phrase for this. More than just like a high investment unit, right? Like the more you invest in, he gives you like almost an exponential return on investments. The only downside is you get him for so little of the game. Those investments will stay. You will get to keep those for next playthrough, but that does mean you're going to be fighting a Lancer that is considerably harder if you give him points. Because the Crowdo will keep those on New Game Plus also. 4,500, he does retreat. Though I also think I am maybe I can't put too much stock into New Game Plus assessments because, like, anything is considerably better if you send it through the game one full time first. So, like, there is that. I also looked at it but did not actually take in the information. The Getter has one, Carrot has one, the Combattler has one, and the Dragon Gundam has one. So we have 4 targets we've got left we can use. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we've got 4 bosses, and these Q-Blaze are just gonna have to go down. For whatever reason, Haman is not a great commander in this game. Nothing to say about the plot of Gundam, but she did give some of the most mobile grunts to hybrid armors rather than like psycho frames. I'm not sure why we took the defense parts and not the dodge parts, but that's fine. Yeah, we're gonna go here. Let's get these bosses cleared, and then we can worry about Haman's little formation after that. That is 8,000. I do think the satellite cannon would be enough to take this out, but that does mean we're losing out on the funds from it. How much is he worth? He is worth enough that I care. Okay, so that's probably where the dragon is attacking this turn. Especially if we move the Nail Argama in to give that accuracy. Keira is. I was gonna say we want Keira to be the Carrot's target. I forgot how. I just keep forgetting how far I allow him. I made him to move. And then the Getter and the Combattler can be for these 2. The Getter is almost out. We have a Valor, a Bullseye, and a Fortune left, though. So that could be we could use that on Haman. How is the Combattler faring? We have a Valor. We've got a Valor and a Bullseye. That's 60 of 79. We have another Valor over here. We have a Fortune. So the Combattler is probably going to be who's taking out Haman. Not much surprise there. So we can send the Getter up to finish this off then before he gets much lower and thereby retreating. What did we say his threshold was? 4,500? No, every time we've tried to be cute, it's always burned us, so let's not be cute. I know I was saying something before we got to the actual part we needed to like figure out what we're doing to these bosses. But can't for the life of me remember what it was. Oh, I do remember now that I've looked at Lancerow. That it's not great. It is not great planning or it's not great strategy to assess how good a unit is if you've like gone through if you've gone through New Game Plus with it already, because right, like everything's going to look good if you've given it full upgrades when you take it to like the first scenarios. Does Doma not have support attacks? Not at that range. Okay. So Domon has to be the one to support attack into Mashimurai. I think that's how you say his name. Also, this should be roughly the position we want. Maybe up here. Actually, I think we're gonna put it up here. No, we can't just guess like that, because that could be right in the way of where we need to place someone for actions. So Domon is going to have to support attack here, and then the Combattler can support attack for Keira. Though maybe the Carrot does not need the support attack help. We could Valor. That seems real risky, though. Do we have an attack from here? We do not. That's the trouble. If we were here, we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Do they have a 4-ranged attack? They do not have a 4-ranged post-movement attack. So if they are going to attack, it does have to be against Machinery. Again, I'm just so sorry if that's not how you say his name. So we can be up here. Okay, we've run into the trouble where... Oh no, okay. We can... Never mind, we've got enough. We have a focus, a fortune, or an excel, a focus, and a fortune. And that's what, 40, 55, 60. We actually have an excel and spare. And this is the one we want. Though we actually don't need the support attack to land that, so just as close as possible. Because then we also get the plus 40 hit from here. Okay. Then we can move the Nail Argama. We can move the Argama above Domon. Because when the Carrot makes its attack, it's going to be in front of Domon. That gives everybody the best odds of hitting. Which is to say, I believe this should move Saisaishi up to 100 hit now. Yeah. Great. And then... Okay, does Domon have anything left in the tank? We do have a focus, which is the best we're going to do for accuracy. We do want someone to weaken Mishimare first. Just to make sure. We can get a support attack from the Combattler. I don't mind that. And we can use a focus. If he doesn't hit, that's okay. But I don't want to waste a bullseye. Focus. That will be the attack. And if this kill... Oh, this probably is going to kill. Then, oh well. Incredible, the Combattler can hold back. Who knew? Let's make sure actually we're ready here. Yeah. Didn't even need the support attack. Okay. Can we finish the rest of these off now? So here's a part of the trouble with this formation is that these two provide support defenses to Halan. I wanted to check though to see if she had any support defenses. I was expecting her not to, given the nature of her personality. She does have 4 support attacks. But so we do kind of need to break these two first if we want to go after Halan. Though I think we have good reason to believe we can get there this turn. That does mean we probably aren't going to actually get to use the satellite cannon. But no, actually we're not going to get there this turn, so we can get in position. I was going to say I've warned you, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's good enough. We are afforded a reposition, so it's fine. And then I'm going to sloppily move everyone forward and just hope. Who is hurt, though? Probably a lot of people. Okay, we can have her heal up here. And we can just have these two come and try to land these attacks now. Okay, also, so now that we've used Domon some more, I will say that, what is this? This is God God Slash. I don't know what the kanji is in front of it. Probably Seki Hatenkyo. This is actually pretty decent. 30 energy compared to Domon's potential energy pool, especially if you give any energy restoring part. It doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be a solar panel, though we do have a lot in spare. And plus 30 hit is like, that's better than I was giving it credit for. It's still only one range, so like, it can only be so good, but that's still not the same. But I also refuse to give a lot of credit to a random activation skill. It's a good activation rate, but it's... when you plan for it to work, it won't. Oh boy, I was gonna say, we can definitely counter kill to solve this problem, but we might not be able to. Because if we can counter kill, then Hamon won't get her support attack off. Oh yeah. Is that what I think it is? Yeah, that's fine. That's just more experience for Fa. So here's another reason why Braid is good. We also get Rouse on him too. We get 2 shots of this if we want, and we don't really use him for much else. That leaves us with, what, 14 left? So with 1 more level, that gives him 3 excels if we need. It takes a while to get, it takes a little bit to get there. Like, 38 is not that high, but it takes a little bit to get there, so we can't give him full credit for it. That does take the burden off of some of our more important units, and that's 2 shots of it, so we can save, like, we can save 1 off of Funsaiki so that Domon has more spirits, and we can save the other 1 off the Combattler, so we can go back to having more access to our, like, our second SP, the, like, hit evade, like, movement accuracy-based character. Okay. We're definitely ending this round. So, let's make sure we don't have money stocked up, like, saved somewhere else. No, we've just got 1 of it left. Okay. The satellite cannon, that's not even... that's only half hit. Okay, so we can move the Argama up to get some more accuracy. We don't need it down with Hamon. We're going to be landing those hits with bullseyes, so that's our best use of that. Alright, when does Hamon retreat? Oh, she does not my notes say she does not retreat, but I felt pretty confident that she does. So, we're gonna put that to the test. And by put that to the test, I mean not going to risk that whatsoever. I guess we could have looked at her before the first hit, because she has been attacking us. Okay, so... the unit does not look that impressive defensive parameter-wise, but it's the pilot that's doing it this time. The large magazine also is just nothing of a part at this point. We don't really have a lot of ammo-based units. And we already have 2 or 3. Sword Cut and Shoot Down are definitely annoying. Thankfully, she does not have shield defense. We don't have the trifecta. But... her stats are really what's up here. So having 200 in ranged is really good. Like having 200 in one of your 2 damage stats is very good. Without going too much into detail, the formula for damage is you divide your relevant damage stat plus your morale by 200. So having 200 in one of them is very, very good. As for accuracy, you do that by 140 instead. So more people have, quote, better accuracy. But if everyone has better accuracy, there's still, like, the same, like, hierarchy. You just have better accuracy than the game in most cases. But Hamon does have also, like, a really, really good hit and evade. She also has level 8 new type, which is also really helping. I think it's adding, like 25 or 30 points to her hit and evade that we're not going to see anywhere else other than in end calculations. She also has level 7 blocking, so it's very... So when I was talking earlier about the trifecta here, I've not really cared a lot about these three insignias, these three sigils, these markers, because most people don't have that high of blocking, but she has very high blocking. And 9 range funnels are nothing to scoff at. That's why I was like, I did. Speaking of scoffing, I did kind of scoff at other enemies having 9 range, but this is like sort of the thing that Haman does. So it'd be weird if they took that away and just gave it to not a random boss, but a more generic boss. We are at the point where we could run her out of those though. 4 more of those and she is out of them. I don't think we need to, but I think she is one of the few bosses where that might be a more than reasonable strat. And she does love spamming them, so odds are that's what you're going to get hit by if you're attacking her. That is one of the other things I don't really know. As far as like enemy behavior goes, I don't know what their targeting preferences are, and I don't know what their attack preferences are. I know they prefer to hit. Like if they can choose between 2 attacks, and one of them has a 0% chance to hit, and one of them has some percent chance to hit, they will pretty much always take the one where they can hit instead. But like other than that kind of thing, I don't really. So we don't want to do a lot of more damage. We just want to land. We just want to land hits. Oh, okay, that was plenty of damage. We actually probably should have bullseyed up the combattler first there. We should also be healing now, because the combattler is going to do lethal damage, so... you can come over here and heal. That's our best use of that. And then the carrot can do the same. We can't both heal him and put him in a position where he's providing support, though. At least if we're using the big attack. Valor. And Valor a second time. No. Experience. Fortune. And bullseye. We definitely need a bullseye to hit him on. Good golly. She is also one of the bosses that has the really stupid morale gain stat, where I think she gains like 5 or 10 if one of her allies, one of our enemies, dies. Her and Zero, I think both do. I did not figure out enemy personality because it matters so little. The bosses just, if they're difficult bosses, they're gonna have 150 morale. If they're nothings of bosses, they won't. But if she was retreating, she would have retreated at, what, 3,000? 4,200? She was a little over 4,200 HP, so... I don't think we got to see whether she would have retreated naturally or not. And there we go. That is the last time we will be seeing Haman for this game. We are getting to the point now where these are going to be some of the last times we see bosses. We don't have... There's only so much more we can do. And we do need to both resolve the main plot. And they super back-end the Gear Fighter stuff. Like, I think it's the last 3 or last 4 scenarios that all involve the Gear Fighter bosses. Or not the last one, but like scenario, the 36, like 35 and 36 are both Gear Fighter bosses. I know 36 is, but I think it's 35. It might even be 34. So the penultimate and the Trinal, what's 2 away from last? I know there's a word for it. I'm sure I've heard it before. I guess I've got homework to do now. We do also have a gratuity of funds that I need to go spend. And I'm going to spend a little bit more oddly this time. I want to spend... Actually, hold on. That's not fully true. I guess we have to talk about this now going into this scenario. So I'll bring it up next scenario too. But next scenario is the grinding scenario, if that's what you want to do. Because of how you restart, you do restart with everything that's already out. So you don't go back to intermission in between. So I guess we should, hold on. I'm making some assumptions. Let's actually talk about what that means if you're not used to that in Super Robot Wars. So this scenario has an endless number of respawning units if you do not trigger the flag for the scenario. We are going to be fighting the Devil Army, and they keep growing and growing and growing and growing unless you destroy the Devil Gundam that's sitting in a base. So what that means is you can max out your funds and your kill counts, or get as much as you want on any pilots, or as much money as you want. You can, if you want to, if you max out or get any of the pilots you want to the kill count you want, you would then need to fail the scenario, and you'll be allowed to redeploy. That kill count will stay, and you'll then need to choose new pilots. But your funds will also stay, but you can't spend them in between them. So the most you can get is 999,999, I believe, is the max number. I don't think the game supports there being a digit in this space, despite the fact that there's a gap. So as far as spending goes, even if you aren't planning on grinding, odds are you are probably going to see more than one wave before you get to kill the Devil Gundam. So trying to spend all of your money beforehand just gives you a lot more space for funds, right? Like this is like, we're not thinking of it as, we do have to think about the money cap potentially. So it is a consideration going into this upcoming scenario. You absolutely don't need to, but grinding for funds is the best form of grinding. As I've said before, levels really don't matter that much unless that level threshold is getting you a spirit or an ability. Because the stat points you get, like a point of damage is, or a point towards one of your damage stats is half a percentage point more damage. That's not nothing when we're dealing in 4-digit numbers, but it's not that much. For accuracy and evade, it's 0.7%. Again, it's not nothing, but that's very little. Like that's a rounding error. Just one level is a rounding error to this game for hit and evade. So you really need those to be really big numbers, and that's going to happen because of bases, not the growths. So don't worry about your levels too much. It's the money, it's the funds, and the kill count. As I say that, though, I'm like wanting to take back my words about the kill count. I'm like almost certain that your kill count stays. I will confirm that for playing next scenario. The only reason I doubt myself now is I know that there are some games that erase any of the kills you get during the game, but I can't remember if that's true in D or in GC. Are the ones I'm thinking of. I don't remember. I'll take a look at it, but don't quote me on that one yet. We'll put that as a big question mark for bridging into next one. But the money is definitely still true though. Like I've done that multiple times with the funds. But it's worth thinking about. This is like the importance threshold, and this only happens if you go to this scenario, this route split. The other route split does not have a scenario like this. This is the only one of these in the game. I would be remiss not to talk about it, but I would also be remiss to take advantage of it because you do not need to. It's fully optional. I guess you also have an unlimited amount of the disposable parts too. You get propellant tanks and repair kits, but like other than propellant tanks, we're sort of beyond using all that stuff right now. Or the like, we've not really used any of the super repair kits. Those are pretty good. I just don't know who to put them on. I guess okay, sorry. Let's finish one of those thoughts, Austin. Good job. I am saving these a little bit for the last scenarios. We can toss these on our battleships and hand these out, and that probably will matter for the end game, which is also true of the Mother Soups. They give 50 spirit. So saving these three, we got three targets we really care about. One of these can go to the Getter, one of these can go to the Combattler, one of these can go to the Voltes. And that's a lot of SP we're throwing around there. We will get a couple more of these before the end, but I'm a little hesitant to use them just because I think there's more relevant times to it. It's not like we've really needed them. That said, I am still trying to break my bad RPG habits of hoarding items. I feel more willing to use them in other games, but like there is kind of an opportunity cost here to using them because they also do take up a part slot. We're not really using the parts on our battleship though, so there's some leeway, but yeah. I don't remember how we got there, but we did, and that's where we're going to end it because that thought has also evacuated my mind. If you can't tell, it's pretty late here for me. So before I babble more, and before I'm tempted to jump into another scenario and just, like, absolutely wreck everything, we're going to call it for the night. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I appreciate you being here. We are winding down this playthrough. I suspect, despite the hype around why, I think we're probably either going to see it in the summer or see it for the holiday season. Apropos of nothing, I know nothing, I've been told nothing, I am just some no-name random person on the internet right now. So all of that information is entirely just me doing guesswork based on what I've seen of release schedules. So don't quote that, don't point anybody saying, he said it, I did not say it, I'm guessing. But I suspect we're either going to see it in summer or during the holiday season. So that does bear in mind that maybe we will still start another series before that comes out. So it's maybe still worthwhile to talk in the comments about what you all want to see next. And like, if at the worst we start that, put it on pause, play Y, and then come back to it once Y's over. Or just to not get ourselves like inundated with the new thing. Like I don't want to feel overwhelmed, or like burned out on the new game. We might like space out, go like a couple of days of Y and then one day of something else. As it stands right now, I'm releasing 2 videos a week, probably somewhere about there. I've debated doing like 2 one week, 3 another, or it might just be 2. I don't know yet. But also when Y comes out, I suspect we're probably going to bump that up to 3 probably a week. Don't quote me on that yet, but I foresee that being a possibility. But that does potentially mean that one of those days could be something else every once in a while. But that's all in the future. It's worth thinking about, but you don't need to do anything about it yet. There is still some time. So I think that's everything now. Again, thank you everyone for watching. This was a much longer one. I'm sorry. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.